Hello everyone. This is a quick guide on how to automate the fusion crafting in Draconic Evolution using Applied Energistics. Initially, the guide here says that you're able to use a single interface along with some piping to do the automation, but that doesn't seem to work with the conduits, the inner I/O conduits. So this is the solution I've come up with, and it's pretty simple. Basically, we still have the interface here, but instead we're going to use a buffer chest. And you can kind of see our patterns here with the nether star as the first item, which is very important because it is the catalyst, which has to end up in here. So that's the first item. And then also we have blocking mode. So it's not going to put like future crafting recipes into this chest unless it's empty. So that'll help us prevent some issues further on. So once the items for the recipe end up in this chest, we're going to extract them on green up to the crafting core with a priority of 1 on green, and then into the injectors, which have a priority of 0 on green, right? So that will make sure the nether star ends up in here and everything else ends up in the injectors. One thing to make sure is that these are on single item mode. So you can kind of see in the bottom right of my screen, it says single item mode active or inactive. Just shift right click to change that. So one thing about this crafting core is that when it has a valid recipe or it is crafting, it's going to output a redstone signal, right? And we're going to leverage that and basically use that to auto craft everything. So when an item ends up in there and we have a signal, we have this redstone conduit. And what we're doing is saying on red input, use a redstone sensor filter, which is going to act as a comparator. So we get a signal out from here. It's going to insert down into the this conduit here, and that's why we have the active without redstone signal. So items are only going to go from the chest into everything else as long as there's no redstone signal, which means that there's no valid recipe and nothing is crafting, which is exactly what we want. But to actually start the auto craft, you need to send a pulse to this. So we can actually send the input back into itself. So on output with the signal color of red. So when this goes to fill everything up and it says, hey, valid recipe, it's going to hit that redstone. It's going to stop this from exporting. It's going to give this a pulse, which will start the crafting, and then it will craft. And then once it's done, we are extracting items on black and then inserting items back into the interface, into the system on black as well. So it's one whole system. It should work for basically any recipe with these crafting cores, but I'll just throw in here 10 and we'll just see it start working. Get another star there. Everything else fills up. You'll see we have an empty injector here because we only have 9 items for this recipe. And then the next recipe is here ready to go. But because we have a redstone signal, nothing is getting exported into the injectors. And we'll see this finish up and we'll see the next one go through. So watch up top, there it goes, pulled out, and these new items get pulled in, and there we go. It will just keep auto crafting. Pretty simple. All right, thanks for watching.